You're busy. Let cleaning be quick and easy. Lysol disinfecting wipes kill 99.9% of viruses and bacteria when used as directed, keeping your space cleaner and fresher. From kitchen counters to your home office to your favorite gadgets and devices, Lysol wipes clean and disinfect the high-touch surfaces we use every day. Plus, they're 3 times stronger than paper towels. Get them at Target and keep your place protected from germs.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Pastimes Podcast. Each week we go through an old newspaper from a random date in history picked out by Dave Anthony. I'm Gareth Reynolds, and I've never seen it before, and neither is our guest this week,
the great Mike Cannon.
Thank you for having me. And this is a podcast?
Yes, you'll figure it out.
Okay.
It's like it's a chat. It's going to be an hour.
Good.
And it's going to be about a newspaper. So it's a targeted hour, but
Perfect.
It's very, yeah.
I'm
And
just unfamiliar with the term podcast.
You will love these.
Gotcha.
You'll find that these are big in New York where you live. Now, Mike, this is your second time on the show. The first time you did 10 minutes where you and I just caught up because Spectrum decided to screw Dave out of internet.
Yeah, it was interesting. That was my first ever meeting with Dave. It was lagging, but I assume that was just his interest, and then he just signed out.
Most first meetings with Dave are like that.
You're
tired. Like, this is not going well, and he's gone.
I got tired of you pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then I do like a fake thing where I go, oh, my internet doesn't work. And I go.
And then I stick around for 10 minutes and catch up with the person, even if I don't know him. And I know. Yeah. So that's why it was an actual pleasure.
Yeah.
I actually I admire that quick decision making and just summing someone up instantly.
I think you and Dave would hit it off. There's a father-based anger that I think both of you would there's really a nice connection point there.
Perfect.
But the last time you were here, you and I spent about 10 minutes pretending that when you have a child, you just go to observe it in the hospital, and you nudge a guy next to you and you go, which cum's yours? That's my cum. Yeah. But the reason we did that is because your wife is about to have a child any moment now.
Yeah, she's at the hospital or something now, but I told her I'm carving out time to do this podcast.
Do the
important things.
For someone who doesn't
get it.
Yeah, she won't now, but this decision ages well.
That's right. Yep. Yeah. It's all for tickets. The kid will benefit.
Yeah.
Yes.
And to get eyeballs on your special.
That's right.
That's coming out September 15th. So right around the release of this.
Beautiful.
It is going to be at chrisdcomedy.com on our friend Chris DiStefano's YouTube.
Yeah. His first production. Very excited.
By the way, I just want to put out there that if you're on Chris DiStefano's
Dave handling his last name like everyone else.
Jesus Christ.
Nobody gets it right. That's actually pretty close, honestly.
And you don't do well. You should probably stop doing comedy.
Here's the thing, Dave. It's kind of at that point. This is a real Nanette moment for me. If I could go down screaming in the middle of it and just kind of work my fan base into a lather and then gain new ones just based off of my own frustration, that's the goal here.
Yeah. Why not call it My Nanette? Can I just point that out? That seems like a great. What is it? What is the title again?
It's called Traumatized Animal, but now it might be called Manette.
Or Canette. My Canette.
Oh my God.
That's
imagine the heat you would get if you called something Manette. Oh my God.
People would talk. Male Nanette. Manette. Oh man, we can keep going forever, but that's not the premise of the show. Mike, I said it on our last one that didn't go anywhere, but truly, when I first met you, we just hit open mics a lot together, and right away I was like, "This is one of the funniest motherfuckers ever."
Right back at you, man.
And I insisted to have you on my MTV show at the time, and because they are idiots, they were like, "We don't know," and then you came on and you just murdered to the point where everyone was like, yeah, this is why Mike was such a good call. Like you had one of those 180 moments with executives, which is hard to do.
Yeah, that was really fun. Good old Hassan Minaj, the host.
Those moments are so fascinating. I wrote a script for Marin, and I had a guy in mind for the character I wrote, and the EP was just fighting me on it and was just like, I want this guy. And he managed comedians. So he had comedians that were like, the guy's funny, but he's like a Boston type guy. And this guy was very subtle and like screaming at each other. And I finally got my way. And then after the shooting, he was like, yeah, you were right. And you're like, I wrote the thing. I know the people. I know the people.
I think I've been in the position where I've had someone do that for me, and then after the execs are like, yeah, that's why the other guy would have been great. I've had that one. Reverse vindication.
I was going to say, the fact that you guys have had even one person tell you were right in show business is such a reality that doesn't exist to me.
It's a lot.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the backwards accountability. All right. So, Mike, we like to guess what year this paper will be from. Again, this is history. Mm-hmm. I'm going to guess first because I don't have to worry about a child coming out of a woman.
That's right.
You do.
Well, yeah, legally I do. I'm going to guess that this paper is from the year 1902.
Oh,
all right.
nice.
I'm gonna give
No,
Nick
shut
a
up,
hint.
Mike. Guess. Mike,
I'm just gonna say,
Mike, take a guess. Mike, take off your headphones and guess.
Very general hint that it
Dave,
is
this is
probably
ruining
between
the fun of this moment. Is gone now with this new bit you're doing.
1925 and 1927. It's probably in that. Like,
Oh.
It's becoming a silly
narrow
part
it
of
down
it.
a
It's
little
now-
bit.
That's crazy because
For you.
I was going to guess 1926.
It's just.
Oh my God, that's it!
It's not fun anymore.
Oh shit!
We used to have a game.
This is
That was
exciting. That's
such a
now we
good
just-
guess.
Is this around the time of the Newsies? Because man, when the circulation bell starts ringing, will they hear it?
Oh no!
What? You
Oh
see
my
what you
God.
did, Dave? Are you happy
He
with your work?
just- Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Activated the newsy boy. Well, I
Yeah,
don't
you
know
guys
where
aren't
that
big.
came from.
You guys aren't big early Christian Bale fans.
I Christian Bale.
I came in around Machinist.
Yeah. I've never heard of the man. Does he work as an actor? All right, so 1926. So things are good and about to get bad.
May 5th, 1926, the Bangor Daily News, Bangor,
Oh, it was a
Maine.
banger. Oh, Bangor, Maine.
There we go.
Love it.
Banger.
That's a great name for a paper. The Banger.
Yep. Wets and dries flay each other in the Senate.
Wet and dries.
This is before
and
Republicans
dries.
and Democrats. We used to have wet and dries.
I got
Oh, yeah,
you.
they were wets and dries.
Now
Yeah.
we have one party called Damn, but we pretend we have wet and dries.
It's just how each senator made women feel.
Minute!
Yeah, that's save it for Minette.
Prohibitionists and anti-prohibitionists flaying each other again today in the Senate as
Oh.
pending legislation was shunted to one side for a discussion that took up to 3 hours and ended about where it began.
I
'Cause
that's so
What are
funny.
you gonna argue about after all these years? Like, you want to drink or you don't? Like, what's the?
I think also I would imagine that this, if this were to happen today, this would be what would get you like a general strike or like unification in the streets.
Yes.
It's shocking to watch this actually go on in a congressional body is crazy.
Yeah.
To just be like, if you imagine your senator, like you as a senator, you'd be like, buddy, you will be voted out next term.
Right.
What are you doing?
It's also just, don't they, like, how do they show, what is the pro arguments? Like, they just literally start chugging on the floor and they're like, look at how I can handle myself.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
The reason why we're all doing the whole thing where we're trying to, you guys have been mislabeling this shit for so fucking long. Hold on a second. I'm going to stroke my cock a little bit.
Yeah, and also I'd like to say, "Fuck you, Larry."
You're hammered. Stop. This is a great argument on why. This is what happens when people get drunk. We're saying this should not be allowed to happen.
But then how
Fuck
don't I
you.
feel anything at the dentist?
What is that even? That's not a point you made.
I drink and I don't feel anything.
That's not okay. I mean, honestly, like we are dunking on these guys. This is crazy right now.
Permission to spit. I feel.
I don't. Jesus Christ. Another guy,
Oh,
he's
God.
going to be sick again.
That is hilarious.
Permission to call my wife the C word. What are you doing?
They said shunt by mistake.
I mispronounced the C word again because I'm hammered. All right, look.
The debate was all on the Democratic side of the chamber, and before it ended, nearly all of the seats on the Republican side had been vacated, along with many on the minority side. So it was just the Democrats fighting amongst themselves.
Oh,
Nothing has
great.
changed.
Wow.
Great.
The Republicans just own the attitude department. They're always like, yeah, you guys are like wimps. And they're like, one moment, we're talking about the benefits of vermouth. Wait, where is everyone?
But there should be a rule of for whiskey versus vodka because it's a different feeling, you see.
Hey, guys, everyone who matters left.
They all went to the bar.
They're all getting drunk at the bar.
Senator Ferris of Michigan and Shepard of Texas lead the assault for the dries, while Senator Bruce of Maryland replied with a speech in which he argued the country to extricate itself from the jungle of prohibition and get out once more on the high road that leads to temperance.
Wow.
The jungle of prohibition.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a jungle. Well, yeah, they're probably talking about all the violence, like, because this did increase, gangster activity and whatnot.
Which is funny because the entire point was to try to alleviate crime in the first place, but it basically created the mafia.
Just raided.
It was a great job created. It really was. Yeah.
It's actually kind of what America is built on.
It really is. And then it just takes like a Trump to be like, I was the only one who knew, I saw it as the alcohol stimulus.
It's just the ingenuity of the American businessman as well.
Privatization and capitalism is what we are. We are Shark Tank the country in a bad way.
Yeah, we are.
That's funny. A
Yeah,
shit-faced gangster just be like, sharks, I have a pitch.
Yeah.
Just throws up
Can
in
we
his
see
own
your
pocket.
margins? No, not your penis. I got a margin. I got a margin for Lori. Stop it.
Senator Shepard contented himself with reading testimonials for prohibition from educators and employers over the country and censoring those who would divert alcohol from the 1,001 uses to which it is put in industry and convert into a beverage of defiance of the law. Okay, so he's against it.
Yeah,
Wow.
In a long-winded way, just like a guy who doesn't drink. Sorry, Mike.
No, it sounded right. Here's the thing. I don't drink, but I am pro booze. I am totally.
You used to be.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I love alcohol, and that's why
weed.
I'm very pro weed, and I will continue to be so. And I think it is chipping away at my self-worth, but it is going to be around for a while. The positives outweigh the negatives.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like Oxy. That's how I feel about Oxy.
Yeah, same. We're pro Oxy on here.
I hear you.
Big time.
Yeah. Denouncing those who made up the legalized liquor traffic in pre-Volstead days as cultures, Senator Ferris said that consciously or unconsciously, those now seeking to amend the Volstead Act were supporting that class. He described the situation as amazing.
Wow.
Censuring the Dries for abandoning their campaign of education, Mr. Ferris declared that the kind of education now going on through the propaganda of the Wets is pernicious and destructive in the extreme.
Wow. It's funny because I was talking to my girlfriend about this the other day about like her point will be like, it's so damaging to your body. And I'm like, yes, but we're all doing it a little bit. It's like you cannot possibly, there's no good argument for it other than like, we're just being goofies. Come on, let us goof around.
It's diluted poison. It's fine.
But you go to a place where they serve tater tots. It's okay.
I do get mad at people that quit drinking too young because it is, and I get it. Everybody's got their own problems, but it's like you are kind of thumbing your nose at a drink that has been around for a really long time and people have found a lot of use for. It's like, at least, honor the invention for a while.
I kind of agree. Like, she never drank, but I do kind of agree with the idea of like, you're supposed to learn to hate it and then stop. Like, You either go like, this is ruining me, or you go like, I found a balance, or, but But it is America. Like we are
Yeah.
we tried the quitting. It's
Right.
not for us.
Yeah,
No.
we're not. No, it's not for us.
Well, and also I probably represent a lot of people in this way, but I'm like a petulant child when anybody tells me not to do something. Like when I started drinking, I have such a familial history that everybody was like, "You're gonna stop, and it's gonna be bad."
They show you the canon hieroglyphics.
Yeah, the family
You see,
tree.
Mike, your destiny is already written on this cave wall.
I mean, all I have to do is look at every wet-brained uncle I have and just be like, that is
Wet-brained.
exactly what I'm looking to be.
All the wet brain uncles.
Yeah, I mean, they were certainly the
Just-
wet party.
We're the soaked.
Urging that the Dries refrain from taking up the Senate's time with debate, the Marylander challenged them to join the Wets in a referendum on the prohibition questions could be settled by the people. Yeah, they should be a referendum. Let the
Yes.
people fucking pick it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is a time for the drunks to really focus up for like a challenge ahead of them. Like it's just like that's like they're gonna be like, boys, we gotta stay sober. Tomorrow's the day we vote to keep getting drunk.
Yes.
Well, we should probably get grease the wheels a little bit before tomorrow. Hey. Well, I'm just saying, let's have a round so that we're prepped for tomorrow. Let's get it in now.
I'm not sure what city infrastructure was, but I do know that at one point beer was more sanitary to drink than water. Right? Like, was it?
Yes.
Is the city already
there
too
was-
developed for that?
Yeah, well, that went on for hundreds of years, basically.
Okay.
Like
We'll get back.
in the I don't know when it stopped, but probably the mid 1800s. People were just shit faced all over America forever. Like,
Right.
It was just
Well, in Flint,
you just
Michigan,
drank
it's still
booze.
going on.
Yeah, Flint, Michigan. No, it's better to have a Mick Ultra than anything.
For real.
The people are taking showers in that stuff. They're just like they have natty lights. And we laugh because nothing ever happened to the people who did it.
Wild.
Just something.
That's right.
There we go. Whoopsies.
That's right. Miss Curtis Guild gets Black Hand demand for $100,000.
It's a lot of money.
That's fascinating. Writer warns of dire consequences if police are informed. Miss Curtis Guild, widow of former, this is from Boston. Miss Curtis
Okay.
Guild, widow of former Governor Guild of Massachusetts, has received a letter demanding $100,000 or her life. It was learned today. So they sent her a letter. They said,
they.
"Give us $100,000 or we're going to fucking kill you."
Yeah, she's like, I don't think you could ransom me like that. Like that's just that's. Oh,
Like, what a great way to get money.
it's removed the kidnapping portion. They were like,
Yeah.
you know what's fucking us up is the kid. Let's just go right to this lady.
I kind of love that. Straight to the source.
It's like very Boston.
It's like Denzel in American Gangster. He's like, I don't want a middleman. I want to go
He's
straight to
gotta
Vietnam.
go. Yeah, give us $100,000 or the you gets it. What?
Oh, that's just one. Although the entire affair was shrouded in mystery, newspapers have learned that the note was a typical Black Hand demand. You know what the Black Hand is?
No, I'm
it's
uncomfortable and didn't want to ask.
Very early mafia.
Oh, okay, better. Sure.
Typewritten by a person apparently possessing little knowledge of English.
Wow.
So it's a really shitty. It's a really shitty threat.
That's my
it's
wife's
really-
great grandfather is Italian,
Yeah.
just typing on a typewriter.
Before spell check. Yeah.
Send Mooney, all right, Kyle. You.
I want $100,000 now.
The missive was sent through the mails and directed Miss Guild to be on hand at a certain time and place with the money in large bills. The writer warned of dire consequences if the police were informed and stated that Miss Guild was wealthy enough to pay the sum demanded without suffering financially.
I like that two-hander approach. I do. Like,
Yeah.
don't tell the cops. Also, you can afford this. This is not going to ruin you or cripple you. So please just don't be a fucking asshole about this.
Just a
Don't
small
be a shunt.
percentage.
Yeah, just a tiny fraction of what you have, and I think I'd be fine. We'll both be okay after this.
I just love the idea
addition-
of the threat is forthcoming. Like, we have nothing of yours just yet, but if you don't pay this, I promise something's going to happen.
Yeah, we haven't. Don't make us start making more plans. Just give us the money, lady. This is crazy. We're really busy.
In addition to her prominence as the wife of the late governor, who prior to his election was ambassador to Russia, Miss Guild has been active in the social and political world. When former Senator Walsh was governor, he appointed her to the State Board of Charities. In 1920, she was a presidential elector, and she's a member of the National and Massachusetts Women's Republican Clubs, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on.
Sure.
The last year, Miss Guild managed the campaign of the late Louis A. Coolidge, candidate for the Republican senator nomination.
Okay.
Nice. So she's a high profile.
Yeah,
This does seem like it's just as thought out as Raising Arizona.
Seriously.
Yes.
Yeah, like someone was like, well, what do we ask for? He's like, the path will take care of itself, boys. Sure. By the way, your typing is horrible. You don't need to get it right. Just get the point across a little bit. Don't worry.
Yeah, phonetically, she'll get it.
She'll understand. She's a smarty. She'll understand. You should sign it? Of course I should sign it. She got to know what she's dealing with. Otherwise, she's not going to know we're mafia, boys. Okay?
Do you know what's funny? Have either of you, and this is a weird leading question, but have either of you gotten an anonymous threatening letter sent to your homes?
I have not,
no.
but I'm aware of this grift.
Dude, so I
still have not.
Is yours the cheating one?
This is because of Manette, right?
So mine was when I was a child. When I was in 8th grade, I left a modified middle school baseball game early, and my coach was so pissed that he sent an anonymous misspelled letter from Manhattan to my dad, calling my dad and me a bunch of pussies, and he almost signed his name. Like it was so very clearly
then you find
him.
out. Yeah. And what do? What's the next path?
I just went to him the next day. I was like, "Hey, buddy, I'm not going to play on your team anymore. I'm going to play spring. I'm going to play spring basketball instead." But he literally the first sentence was, "You're such a pussy." He called my dad a fat, arrogant fool, which I completely agree with. But then he just kept spiraling on down where it was so many details from a coach's perspective that you're like, hey, we know who this is.
You're such a pussy is, and I'm not being hyperbolic, the greatest opening to a letter I've ever heard. And we've heard a lot on this show.
I give you a ride to practice in my blue Ford Focus.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike, sometimes they don't put as many McNuggets as you want, but the coach still bought it for you. Say thank you. You are such a pussy.
You'll never guess what his day job was. NYPD.
Oh, yes.
So good.
Yes. Oh, so
I'm
good.
investigating myself, and I think I didn't do it.
Here's me committing a very obvious crime.
Wow, that is a fucking humdinger Michael.
That is a classic motivational technique used by many coaches around the country.
Totally.
And, I think it's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
Yeah.
It got you playing basketball. So.
Yeah, I don't think he saw me quitting. as
no. I mean, the second you guys are like, we know it was you, he's probably got a red face. He was like, what?
Yeah, we're like, you're the only guy that works in Manhattan. All the other parents are local, you douchebag. What are you talking about?
Nah, that wouldn't. Come on, stop it. It's crazy. We're happy to have Michael on the team. Stop it. This is
He's
crazy.
like, no, you're a great guy.
Stationary.
Your
name is on the stationery.
You're the backbone of this team. I are not doing it.
This is on the same page as the threat. This hen in 6 layings produces the equal of 12 eggs.
So we got a double
Front
egger.
page.
Yep,
Front
big time.
page.
By the way, a former governor's widow might be killed for money. Also, this hen is an egg popping.
You wanted 1 egg? Here's 2.
Bingo.
Byron Southwell, manager of the agricultural and mechanical hatchery, has a hen that in 6 layings produces the equivalent of 1 dozen eggs.
Wow.
Each egg contains 2 yolks.
Oh, I hate those.
Well, fucking show off shit here.
That's real.
But I hate those. Whenever I like crack an egg, I'm like, no, not twins. Now I'm thinking about it a lot.
I thought it was going to be in LA.
yolks,
I like egg whites. Double on the yolk. Get out of here.
Double yolk.
Boo.
I'm a yolk only.
They measure 7.5 to 7 3/4 inches in oval circumference. Southwell
Imagine
is
that meaning
endeavoring.
something to you.
It means a lot.
I mean,
Southwell is endeavoring to evolve a breed of fowl that will produce similar eggs.
So we're talking about a potential family of double yolkers.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is big.
I guess so.
That's big.
I didn't know that I
Work.
thought it was more than 2 at a time. Like, isn't that, I mean, maybe that's now.
Well, they're saying 12 at a time, right, Dave? Or are they saying because it's double yolkers that it's twice as many?
I think that I feel like they're saying because it's double yolkers.
So it's 6 a laying,
Gotcha.
It's 6 eggs, but it's like having
double
12.
yolking, right?
Okay. So all of them
Yeah.
had Mary Kate and Ashley's inside of them.
Yeah, so we're talking about a twinning machine, and we're like, omelets. Like, there is actually something more amazing about this. Like a hen that's only laying twins, and we're like, yummy, good for us, more.
2 for 1 at Denny's.
Yeah, we're just like, look at it. We call her Grand Slam. That's so human to just like, so disappointing to be like, I mean, you really would be like, wow, there's something very special with this bird right here. That's exceptional. Like,
Yeah.
can I get it with hash browns?
Wait a
Show me a
minute.
rooster
Wait a
that comes
minute.
hash browns.
Wait a minute. If we kill it, is it going to have 4 breasts?
I really,
Now we're
this
talking.
is crazy.
Now we're talking.
Let's cut it open.
It's gone missing, but we got a letter. I are not the farmer, but I are have it. It do 6 eggs.
This would be something if companies could do, they would have been done ages ago because
Yes.
then they'd have double yolk
Yes.
eggs for sale for
Yes.
more. They've been
Completely.
working on this for 100 years, probably.
Yes. I'm shocked it doesn't exist.
How haven't they
Yeah.
put this chicken in like an amber thing, extracted its DNA, and then created a Jurassic
Jurassic
world
hen.
of twinning chickens?
Yes.
Jurassic
Yeah.
Hen, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
They probably could have skipped a
agrees.
step.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah. Well, yeah. It's not as if like the guys they're like, what is he working on? He's like, welcome to Jurassic Coop. They're like, what? This is just a chicken coop, sir. Huh? When was the last time you hosed this area down? I'm an old man. What? Take a look. Look at this cup of water. Nothing's happening. Oh. My wife's gone.
My wife's gone.
That was weird. That
Yeah,
came
it's
from
like,
out of
what?
nowhere.
Why's there all this lube in here? I spent it. Get out of here. I don't think these hens do anything special either. They don't.
It was the man the whole time. He was having sex with the chickens that was installing 2 chickens inside of the egg.
Someone spits out there. I was eating this. I should have told you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Jurassic Coop is a failure. Jesus Christ. old
Spared
man.
no expense.
There's no amber.
Abbott released charge against him unfounded. This is a story out of Rome.
Whoa.
John Adams Abbott of Boston has been held in jail here for the last week on a charge of insulting Premier Mussolini.
Oh, dear, that
Damn.
doesn't age well.
Damn.
He was released this afternoon by an order of investigating magistrate. Abbott
Wow.
immediately returned to his hotel after removing a week's growth of beard.
Shave. You can just say it.
I mean, it's
He shaved.
you took a, yeah, but you didn't need
Sounds
to,
like he's ripping it out. Done.
like, it just feels like that's not an important part of the story, but maybe.
He looked
Yeah.
well kept.
Yeah. It's like the scene from The Fugitive.
Shocking jawline underneath all that face hair.
Beautiful, but still not okay to say.
He spent the remainder of the day at the American consulate discussing the situation with his uncle, Samuel Abbott, a former director of the American Academy here.
Sure.
The magistrate ordered Abbott's release today after finding the charge he had insulted Premier Mussolini was unfounded. Abbott still faces a charge of assaulting a Roman guide. Something happened here.
A lot of crazy because it's like, first of all, the idea of being charged for that is insane, but then also the idea that it doesn't hold after it's been levied against you from a guy like Mussolini is crazy. You'd think that would be like enough to be like you could go in Guantanamo for less now.
Was he in a tour? Like the fact that is he probably got in an argument with a tour guide or somebody that was trying to tell him about the area, and he was like, "You're wrong," and that guy's like, "What'd you say about Mussolini?" And that's like the fourth time this guide has tried to pull that.
Yeah, it is how you really slide into fascism like that. It's just like by a bunch of tattletales. Like, that was rude.
Yeah, I mean,
Benito's awesome.
We're also a nation of narcs, so who knows where the backslide is heading?
I think we do. We
this
talk
almost
about it constantly. Our Patreon is essentially the backslide. That's all we do. Is we're like, it's coming bad.
This sounds like a mix of like Brittany Griner and LiAngelo Ball.
Oh my God!
Do you remember? Do you remember LiAngelo Ball, the Ball brother that went to China and slapped a street sign with his hand, and they're like, "You're in jail forever."
That's it. Yeah. Or what was the guy who went to like Thailand? He got caned. He did graffiti, and they were like, "Hey, no, not here." And then like the U.S. negotiated. They're like, "We got it down to 24 canings," and his family was like, "Excuse me." That's kind of all we have.
But don't worry, the proceeds from the live stream will go to you.
I are not the guy who did the graffiti.
Abbott still faces a charge of assaulting a Roman guide, Astrologo, who brought both charges against the American after the latter had administered a beating to him following an argument.
Nice.
Wow.
Kick the shit out of the guy. American kick the shit out of the guy. Astrologo.
There you go. That's what we do as Americans. We go into your country and thump you.
Sorry, we saw Mussolini and we were like, pass. Sorry, everybody.
Looks like I brought some Boston to Rome and you couldn't fucking handle it.
Yeah.
It's like the Irish scene in The Departed. These are dirty, dirty people.
To picture potato fields in school book.
Let me know when the headline's ready.
A request for pictures of Maine potato fields has been received by Commissioner Washburn of the Maine Department of Agriculture.
This is the most Maine. Maine should be fighting against stereotypes like this.
From the John Winston Company of Philadelphia, who desires to reproduce the pictures in a geography of New England for use throughout New England and in a geography reader for throughout the United States. So the story here is that someone who makes textbooks would like a picture of a Maine potato field.
Wow. Interesting. Were they going to send it back to Ireland to brag?
Yeah. It is trolling.
Look who's not dying.
Yeah. And we got other things too.
That's right. Helps when you don't have a whole foreign country poisoning your crops and then shipping everything else out.
I'll write the letter. I don't love the tone. Let me send it to them. No, I'm telling them.
It's not a famine. It's a genocide, you see.
Hey, I'll handle this. I don't love that. We're admitting to a lot in this all of a sudden. Let them know. We'll make it sound like something a potato orchestrated. Nice. Giving away the whole grift.
Their company requested a picture showing a farmer driving a tank back and forth in a field of potatoes.
This is for masturbating.
Spraying the vines to kill the bugs, and also a picture of a potato digger at work.
I'd like to see the farmer spraying all over the potatoes, and he should be in a crop top and sweaty and have some dirt on one of his cheeks,
If you could
face
somehow,
or buttock.
if you could somehow make the potato go, ugh, then that would be.
If the potato could cover its little spud holes. Like it
Glistening
doesn't like it, but
potato.
it's okay with it.
It's glistening.
And could
wet.
you call it a step potato?
It's a wet step potato.
Step potato stuck on vine.
Yeah. Step potato left alone. You won't believe what happens next.
In response to the request, Commissioner Washburn has forwarded some excellent pictures for illustration.
Oh, perfect. That's just crazy. That is
Hey,
just
I sent you some really hot potato stuff.
hot potato.
Well, I like that.
Pictures and what? Yeah, these potatoes.
A potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4 potato, 5 potato, 6, more.
Maybe that's where hot potato came from. They jizzed on the potato
Yep.
and then threw it to their friend.
All right, look, we can't keep doing this, but it is the original Ookie Kookie. I'm okay with saying what we're all saying. There are a lot of articles where you'll be like, man, that was a better time.
Mhm.
And I know that we're about to hit a nightmare time for them, but man, just for the paper to be like, a textbook wants a potato picture. It's just like, like flip through any paper now. You're not finding anything close to this.
It's just what people wanted to find out for the love of finding out.
Yeah,
Yep.
it just simple. Yeah, just people were like, I'm gonna go out back and have an opine.
And you head down to the cafe and you're like, did you hear about the potato pictures?
Yeah. Every day was filled with whittling and fathoming. I can't process this information.
Okay, so sometimes there's just one line. It's not a story. It's just one
Normally
line.
good news.
Nice.
The
Filler.
setup.
Nice.
The Eskimos of Greenland cannot count above 20.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, dearie me. Good Lord. I meant comedically good news. It's awful. Jesus. Oh, my
Whoa,
God.
fuck, that's just crazy.
Why is this happening?
Wow.
Us. Yeah. Oh, God.
That's
Ah.
that's awesome. I just want to know how they found out.
That's kind of why it's terrible. Why it's awesome is because it was probably terrible how they found out.
Yeah.
Like some guy was just like cold and was like, well, that's proof. I'm going home. Like to one woman.
It doesn't even reach 20 degrees. I bet they can't even count above 20.
All right. Anyway, back to the mainland.
I gave them 27 potatoes, and that guy got to 20 and just started crying.
Yeah. I can only imagine how little probably research went into this and how slanted it probably was even in how bad it was.
Totally. I'm curious if he even asked an Eskimo.
I can guarantee you he did not.
No.
He was
This
just
is
like,
what
he was
happened.
talking to an igloo and he was like, this is what it is?
He asked some guy in Greenland, and he said, hey, can you count above 20? And the guy was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've got my article.
Now to kick back and relax for the rest of my trip.
Now to enjoy a boat ride home. And then he comes
Roman-
back after all that research and it's one line. He's like, what the fuck? There was like a 30-page, what? Yeah, we're good.
William Hurst is furious he footed the bill for the trip.
That's all he had. You had like a 400-hour boat ride back. He's like,
That was our whole Q1 budget. What are you doing?
I feel like it says it all, pretty much. Boom. In lights.
I think that's a front page. That's a front page headline. Oh.
Yeah, pretty good. No, we're going to go with the textbook stuff. People are crying out loud for potato farmer stuff in textbooks in Maine.
1,000 ukuleles monthly are exported from Hawaii.
Wow.
On my new podcast called Okay.
And I would just like to point out that in this story, they write Hawaiian ukuleles as one word.
Oh,
As they should.
yeah.
Yep.
1,000 Hawaiian ukuleles a month are being sent to the mainland, in addition to the dozens carried aboard ships by visiting tourists. The Niu Kani, or singing coconut, a new type of ukulele, also is gaining favor.
We're so close to me being like, I think we're being racist. Also, this is one after the other. They are clearly just trolling the Inuit people right here. They're like, meanwhile, Hawaiians can count to 1,000.
I mean, this is kind of like the new PS5, I guess, at this point, where they're like, a brand new instrument for you to strum on in front of a fireplace is being exported from a tropical island.
They call it the singing coconut.
They
shouldn't call it that.
No, they should not at all call it that.
The name is super misleading. This is like a small guitar. Singing coconut. But you have to play it. It's the singing coconut.
I'm looking at it. It's a little bit of a different ukulele. It's like round. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Sure.
It's a coconut. It is a coconut formed ukulele.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Not bad.
All right. I'm on board.
And that was before Somewhere Over the Rainbow got covered.
That's true.
So who knows? Thousands more singing coconuts.
Well, I mean, you think of all the ukulele jams. Somewhere Over the Rainbow, the cover.
Yeah.
The list goes on and on.
I mean, I saw some guy play Sultans of Swing on the ukulele on TikTok the other day.
Your algorithm's like, Mike, can you sit down? We want to talk to you. We're not in a good spot.
My algorithm, every 4 videos, some lady comes on and is like, enough is enough. Go to sleep.
Hi, my name's John TikTok. Mike, go to bed.
China's got all they need on you. Go to bed.
Mike, we've got everything we need, Mike. We literally have nothing left to offer you.
You have failed Manchurian candidate status.
You
we can't use
are
you.
the worst guy here. And that's really saying something.
Incidentally, the name of the most popular Hawaiian instrument is ukulele, not ukulele, as often is mispronounced. By the way, if you're writing an article, you don't have to say incidentally. You can just say the thing.
Yep,
Right.
true.
Yeah.
You're not you're not making a point to a friend.
No, you're really not.
But
by the by,
you know, he had one friend that he's basically motherfucking with that one sentence who just can't. It's just, no, it's been ukulele. It's actually ukulele.
Okay, understand, Greg? Prick.
Okay, so there's a picture here, and it's
Walk us through it.
it's a bunch of dudes in what would be a stereotypical Eskimo outfit. Of the time, they're all holding musical instruments. Like, it looks like 5 have banjos and 1 has a tuba.
Oh,
Sorry, so we're going from the original article that is just that the writer believes that they cannot count above 20.
Mhm.
Now we're into ukuleles, and now we're back to them, and we're like, they formed a brass band.
of 19 members.
Yeah. So they say, but who can tell, really? Look like 400 of them to me.
Picture in costume of the Klikwat Club Eskimos, led by Harry Reiser.
Well, I mean, that just sounds like
Paul
classic
Reiser's uncle.
Inuit name.
or a porn. Yes. And what are you? Hi, I'm Harry Reiser. I'm an Inuit.
Just
Hi,
got
I'm
here.
Harry Reiser. Just got here. Yeah. I was an accountant. Just decided to see what else was out there.
This banjo ensemble, it's there's so many
honestly,
things wrong with this.
I'm just gonna tell you, Mike. It's not a lot of times where I go, I'm kind of done. I don't know what to make of what's happening anymore. It feels like someone was like, the paper's not done, and they were like, what if we just did some fan fiction on that article, that line from 2 ago? What if we just combine this Hawaiian one with this Inuit one, and we just kind of hodgepodged it? Harry Reiser. Harry Reiser, igloo owner.
So here's the thing, Jimmy. I've been banging around as a musician for a while and just haven't really landed. So I think me and a couple of the guys, we got together and we're gonna put on Eskimo outfits and play the banjo.
All right. What about wives? You guys ever thought about having wives? You guys ever looked into that? Might be a good move for next, maybe. Feels like you need a bad cop.
Ukulele and banjo seems like such a warm weather instrument too, because you need the dexterity in your fingers.
Yeah,
what are you just strumming with a flipper?
It ain't a mitten musical instrument. We're the mitten banjos. That sounds like shit. It was a failure to launch, to be honest with you.
Just after a couple years, it's just a bunch of guys with no fingers banging on banjos.
Yeah.
We're a percussion guitar band.
This is a coconut.
The Banjo Ensemble is making a great name for itself over the air every Thursday night. It is sponsored by the Cliquot Club Ginger Ale Company. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, it's a fucking okay
nightmare. But I'm going to point out that's obviously hell on earth. I'm going to point out something else, which is that this is for the radio only, and they're wearing these winter snow costumes for the radio.
Yeah,
you better believe
correct.
it. We're in freezing cold weather out here. While they're just in a studio. I learned one time. I tried to do stand up about this fact, and I don't know, just went nowhere. But that there used to be ventriloquism over the radio is another one of those things where I'm like, what?
That's awesome.
Awesome. Like someone was just like, and believe it or not, my lips aren't moving.
I really wish I grew up in an era where you could be limited in your talent and still achieve.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I feel like everybody's so gifted now that type of stuff doesn't fly.
No, there are so many times, to that point, there are so many times where we'll, like on the Dollop, we'll do a story about some fucking lunatic who was just like, you know, it was like, all he did for a summer was eat alligator. And then it's like 6 months later, they're like, he was on Broadway playing himself in a show about his story. You're just like, what?
That's unreal.
Yeah, it's the best.
Okay, this is amazing though.
Okay.
It's the Clico. The Clico Club Eskimo was a popular music variety radio show, first heard in 1923, featuring a banjo orchestra directed by Harry Reiser.
That's a crazy...
A popular ginger ale, Clico Club was Canada Dry's main rival. Clico was the name of the Eskimo boy mascot depicted in advertisements and on the product.
Wow.
So the ginger ale has a little like Eskimo stereotypical Eskimo looking kid holding like a ginger ale.
Interesting.
And that was Canada, and this was the rival
of the Canada Dry ginger ale.
And that brand became Schweppes.
Yeah. And it's our version of the Cleveland Indians becoming the Guardians. And now we're just Schweppes. I like that we were like, in that time, we were like, you can't make a ginger ale from America. Nobody's going to be interested.
Yeah.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got to be,
That's like
it's indigenous or it's Canadian.
It's soft drink Aunt Jemima.
That's exactly.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Oh my God.
The Eskimos theme was carried through whenever possible. Band members wore Eskimo outfits when performing before a studio audience.
Hated that.
And barking dogs were a component of Harry Reiser's opening theme tune.
What are you talking about? Dogs? What? Who is in charge? Who was like, you know what we need as an opener? Let's have some dogs going ape shit. We'll just hold a bunch of meat in a net above them, and that'll be the opener.
I just like this is the.
It's overproduced.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Was this the inspiration for Baha Men?
I mean, imagine you're not a white guy. Imagine you are just some Inuit dude, and you're like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Well, we know you can't count above 20, and that's basically where our research ends. So, like most of your music, it'll be played on 8-stringed instruments or coconuts, and like you love, we'll have sleigh dogs just bark at the beginning.
It ingratiates you to the music, you see, because it's a familiar noise.
I'll be honest, we're just trying to move as much ginger ale as possible, and your feelings are not.
Yeah, if anybody wants to look it up, it's incredibly offensive, and it's the CLICQUOT club.
That's
And yep,
insane.
there's a little mascot is a young boy,
A young
Inuit kid.
Yep, who
It's
probably
totally
got no
normal.
royalties if he existed at all.
No, he probably didn't.
Yeah, and I can only imagine the pitch room of the name. They were like, does anyone want to look at actual names? Like, we don't need to do that. I think we're pretty close with Chinook. Hey, Ted, I mean, we're all white and I'm offended. So what's the line
here? Soccer football grows in
Clearly, it's popular based on how this guy knows what it's called.
Soccer football grows in Philippine popularity.
Wow.
Growing popularity of soccer football in the Philippines has resulted in
such a nerd. It's like a cop trying to buy like weed at a concert. You guys got any pot grass? You guys got any joint bongs?
Joint bongs.
That's how we knew. We had this guy in our town who's like, fascist-y.
A little Mussolini.
Board member guy, like screaming at the board and all that guy in the school board. And he gave himself away early on because he was on Zoom calls saying, I'm from Glendale, La Crescenta. And everyone's like, no one says that, by the way.
Yeah, he just moved there to like try to flip the school district.
That's before he moved here. And he kept saying Glendale, La Crescenta. And everyone's like, yeah, nobody says that. So
that's not how we talk. That's not a neighborhood. That's just like someone who Googled the area.
Yes.
It's like a zoning map arguing.
What do the locals call this place?
Yeah. I'm from New York City, Manhattan Borough. I'm a local.
Growing popularity of soccer football in the Philippines has resulted in the formation of the Philippine Amateur Football League. It will strive for development of the game here and the creation of a team able to compete in the biennial Far Eastern Games with China, Japan, and neighboring countries. In the past, the Chinese have consistently won these games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They have a big
numbers
pool.
game.
Yeah, totally.
Numbers game.
A lot of people to try out.
No,
China does not. Japan is
Japan's awesome.
Yeah,
Korea
Japan
was
also
very good
almost
at
beat
football.
France in basketball, which was the funniest. Like Victor Wembanyama, 7'6", being guarded by like a 5'6" dude.
Who's like owning him.
It was crazy. Yeah, just like taking out his legs in the post.
No, last World Cup, like Japan, I was like, let's go.
Yeah, they're nasty.
They're good. They're a very
They
good
are.
soccer team.
Yeah.
A motorist should know what the legal speed limit is in the state in which he lives.
Okay. What I mean, it's truly is just when this is in the paper, you're like, things are dangerous out there. That is a given. Local laws apply to us.
You also know that this isn't even nearly the worst part of this article. There's something coming.
That's the whole thing. But now,
oh wow!
Now there's another article. There's an article after it with a headline that says "Sacrificed Children."
Oh my God! What? So that's like a teaser.
Traffic accidents last year took the lives of 7,000 children in the U.S.
Oh my God!
Remember, we did an episode about.
I know, but that number
That
is
is
a shocking number. 7,000.
I mean, they're all just kind of loosely sitting in the back,
Yeah,
right? So
it's not only just that; it's also just hitting them.
So,
oh yeah,
right. So roads didn't have cars on them, so kids played in the road.
oh wow,
And then cars came along, and no one wanted to give way, so cars were just running over children constantly.
oh my God!
And there were no like rules of the road.
You didn't
yeah,
even
you would
stop.
just-
You'd have the Wayne's World
Yeah.
game on. Like,
No,
nothing like
yeah,
that.
no, this is pre-game on. Yeah, no, and you hear like the little like and crunch, and you'd be like, come on, we're going to the theater.
That one was just cartilage, so it was early.
Don't worry, I believe he was already gone. That was someone else's crush.
An editor writes, quote, "The heartbreaking, ruthless slaughter of 7,000 is a blood offering to our civilization."
Well, that is what's going on
Nice.
there. That guy is just a
Dude,
lyricist.
Just
Lyricist.
That's insane.
Was that on the death of Slim Shady? Because that was beautiful.
just as inexorable and as cruel and to an extent as terrible as the sacrifices of children to pagan gods of old.
Yeah.
This guy's angle is super off.
He's saying it's bad.
I was
I know
gonna
he's
say-
saying it's bad, but he's just like, look, we used to offer it to Satan, but this is similar. And everyone's like, what?
It's
How
for our
about
country
yield
to grow.
signs? How about you lobby for yields?
The idea of some kid in like buckled shoes lying on the side of the road like another deer is like brutal
honestly,
vision, dude.
Honestly, think of that is so true because it's like when you drive, you're like, is anyone going to scoop that deer up? But
Yeah.
instead, it's just like there's books and just like little spectacles. You're like, Jesus Christ, that's like an 8-year-old over and over again,
Littered on the road
just
on the
littered
interstate.
everywhere. Boy, this city's got a real stink since cars came around.
Hey, I have a. How come nobody's picking up the bodies?
Well, anyway, come on, guys. Let's not worry about that. I got to go home and listen to these fake Inuits bang on banjos.
I do love how
us
QAnon
hope-
was around in the 20s, though. That's cool. It's
Yeah,
a blood
sure,
offering.
yeah. A blood, yeah, for sure.
Let us hope the
Predetermined.
conclusion is
It's a
justified.
psyop,
that-
dude. These kids are a psyop.
Let us hope the conclusion is justified that just as children are no longer sacrificed to gods by any civilized peoples, so the day will come when they will not be sacrificed to the modern automobile. Several checks for this evil are available. First, more careful automobile drivers.
I think that's the list.
Nice.
That's the list. That should be the list.
Hey,
Second,
stop
less
running them
stupid
over.
kids. Thirdly,
Oh,
kids with
that's what-
iron bones.
That's what 2 is. Second, more careful parents who teach children not to run out in the streets.
Nice.
I
there you
mean,
go.
both are good, but it's still the first one seems extremely helpful.
Yeah. I like it. You know,
Third.
you got to, just to bring it back to the first story, you got to crack a few eggs
You do.
to make an omelet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Third, protected safe places for children who have as fundamental a right to play somewhere as motorists have to drive.
That's so-
right. So then,
that's-
so they
that's the
invented playgrounds.
Yeah.
That's why they invented
call
playgrounds.
them parks, and it's a pretty interesting idea. An area where cars won't take your child from you.
At first, the road passed right through the swing set.
Higher, Daddy, higher. Ah. Oh, that's a shame. After
Yeah.
the honking after.
A fake
Look
check
out, I'm
signed-
driving through here. 8 kids are dead. Okay.
A fake check signed "You Are Stuck" was accepted by a Dallas, Texas tradesman and found its way through the clearinghouse before it attracted any attention.
I'm fine with this.
Yeah.
This should
Yeah, so am
this
I.
is I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just catch me if you
yeah,
can.
100%.
Yes, yeah. It's
Yes,
just yeah,
this
they're
is-
just being brash.
Mhm.
Hey, dumb fuck. All right. Just looks like you've endorsed this properly. Would that be checking or saving, or do you just want? I'll just take the cash right now. All right, Mr. H.E. Dumbfuck. Here you
go. The Big Show. In an Ohio murder trial of no great importance, subpoenas have been issued for 78 witnesses, and more are expected to follow.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
It is the case of a commonplace man who killed his wife in a fit of rage and then confessed to the killing. There is no doubt whatever as to his guilt and little as to his motive. Yet nearly 100 witnesses must be dragged into court. The lawyers must indulge in all the antics of their legal sport. The court's time must be wasted. Expenses must be pulled upon the taxpayers. The people must have their big show, keeping the town upset for weeks.
This guy. The biggest victim in this murder trial is me.
Because I have to cover it, and we already know how it
Right?
ends.
Good Lord. What is this, the finale of Seinfeld? We know what happened. Holy fuck. You got one more, Dave?
Oh, yeah, let me grab one.
Get ready, Mike. We're closing. We're
Beautiful.
closing out a very interesting hour of learning.
I've learned a lot.
This really has been.
I think I'm dumber.
I think we're all dumber.
I don't feel good.
For sure. No, I feel bad. Action for damages. In the afternoon session of civil action of Alphonse A. Lord of Ellisworth versus C.H. Savage and Company of Bangor was begun. Plaintiff asking damages in the sum of $5,000 for personal injuries sustained in a fall through a trapdoor at the defendant's store.
Just what
Oh
a
my
time.
God.
What a time. It's just, why did they go away? Bring back the trap door.
Yeah.
Enough. We're
Yes.
ready.
Yes. There better have been some sort of tub of water underneath that, like in the Prestige.
I doubt it highly. I think the guy was like, oh no. But he was okay. This goddamn thing's so janky. I killed 4 people on my trap door, and none of them I wanted.
Plaintiff testified at some length that he went to the Savage Company store
He knew
on
he was
June 29th.
savage. It's going to be bad,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
On June 29th, 1925, to purchase some fruit.
That's even
That-
sadder. Do you have any
That-
pineapple?
The best is the door owner being like, yeah, 2 steps to the left.
Yeah, we got pomegranates. Just keep going a little further back. A little more. A little more.
He's just about to press a button.
If they come in and looking for fruit too exotic, he's like, I'm going to send him to the basement. Do you have apples? Boy, you people and your crazy asks. Yeah, there's some apples a little left.
Mr. Savage asked him to come to another part of the store to see some bananas.
Oh, my God.
Nice.
And that while following Mr. Savage, he fell into the cellar through an open trap door, no warning having been given by Mr.
Well,
Savage.
To be fair, if he wanted it to happen, you don't give a heads up.
No.
No.
By the way, there's a
That's
trap
right.
door right here.
He just ushers by it.
Damn it.
His
figured
shoulder
that
and neck were injured, so his legs so affected that he had no control over it for a time. What?
Oh.
I've been playing soccer football.
It's
It's like
my
Devin
God, my
Sawa.
leg's been doing whatever it wanted for like 2 weeks.
I can't stop doing the cha-cha. Ever since I fell in that fruit stand's trap door, I keep doing the Charleston.
And what came out of this was the Crip Walk.
How the twist was invented.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
Witnesses said that his eyesight was affected at the time and that he had his right eye removed last month.
Well, that should be on our list of injuries
What?
immediately.
That's first.
He
That's
has a
first.
bad neck and shoulder. By the way, we should mention, as we didn't earlier, he's blind now.
Yeah, we took out an eye.
He had no depth perception.
His ability to see is completely changed.
Your Honor, I can't catch a baseball.
I'm so on board for the trapdoor coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm into that too.
He said he was not warned of the danger by the defendant, nor did he inform Mr. Savage that his eyesight was defective. Oh, his eyesight was already bad.
I see.
I kind of like the defense of the trapdoor guy a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your Honor, was I to tell him that I had a trap there and he couldn't see when he came in? He asked for bananas, and that's really annoying.
He said he was rendered penniless by expenses of the accident and loss of earning power, losing his truck by failure to pay installment due to having no horse to resume business. So he couldn't see well, but he was driving a truck. There's a lot of stuff going on here that I can see how people are confused.
Go ahead, Mike.
I just love how consistent the American healthcare system is.
Exactly where I was.
It's right there. The guy has to work. He has no eye.
The guy, and they're just like, sorry, you don't have trapdoor coverage.
Here at State Farm.
You should have paid $2 more. You falling through the trapdoor is what we call a pre-existing condition. So we're sorry.
This is a time when you walked into a fruit store, you had to say, "I can't see well."
Holy fuck! You got anything else, Dave?
A boy who drove plaintiff's truck testifying concerning the accident, and Dr. Parcher testified concerning injuries. The defense opened late in the afternoon. Walter Teff, civil engineer, testifying concerning measurements made by him at the Savage store. The case will resume in the morning.
Wow.
That's great.
A fucking run.
Wow.
Well, now everybody knows about the trapdoor in his store, so he's got to put it in a different spot.
Yeah. Or he doesn't. He just has to put a sign that it's like, it has moved. Trapdoor now moved.
Closed for renovations.
Closed for renovations. Well, Mike, what we've learned so much.
Yes,
really
that is exciting. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me. This is a blast. So fun.
Yes, come back, please. And September 15th.
Yes, sir.
You have your new special.
7 p.m.
Any day now
Eastern.
you'll have a new child. And then 7 p.m. Eastern, Christie Comedy, your
At
new
YouTube.
special drops on YouTube. And
Yeah.
you truly are one of the funniest fucking comedians and dudes. So
I appreciate
thank you
it,
for
man. Thank
joining
you.
us. And what's your Instagram? Just plug that real quick.
At I am Mike Cannon across the board on all social
I am
media.
Mike Cannon.
Yeah.
And then you also co-host a podcast with
Chrissy Chaos, and I got a series
you
called
have your own
Existential
cult.
Dad on YouTube as well. So yeah, where I talk about dad theory and get all weird.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm sorry you have over promoted. So
Yeah. Just the special. That's all I care about. September 15th, 7 p.m. Eastern on youtube.com/Christie Comedy.
Beauty.
Some of these days you'll miss me, honey. Some of these days.
Hey, dollheads. This is Gareth, the leader of the Gare Force. Listen, some shows. Go to GarethReynolds.com. See me do stand-up. September 18th, San Diego, California. Bakersfield, September 20th. Manchester, Connecticut, September 24th. Albany, New York, September 25th. Syracuse, New York, September 26th. I'll be in Ontario, California, October 2nd. Tempe, Arizona, October 3rd. Portland, Oregon, November 1st, November 2nd, November 3rd. November 4th, I'll be in Eugene, Oregon. Bend, Oregon, November 5th. Seattle, November 6th. That show's definitely going to sell out. November 7th, I'll be in Vancouver. And then December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2 shows. Cap City Comedy in Austin, Texas. Go to GarethReynolds.com for tickets and information. Plus, if you go on that website, you win a big prize. So book tickets for a big prize.